Now more observations we are going to do on this. So another observation here is another observation is say antenna. Our antenna is shown here, and antenna may short the VO if you don't use CC, a coupling capacitor. So we should use a coupling capacitor CC so that VO, which is a bias voltage generated from VDD by using voltage divider R1 and R2. So that is one observation. You cannot, if you really use antenna here, then you have to use a CC coupling capacitor. Otherwise, antenna will kill your bias voltage, which is generated divided by the voltage divider. Now, another role may be there of a capacitive coupling or coupling capacitor. If you cascade more than one stages of CS amplifier, for example, the gain of one stage is not sufficient. You want to increase gain by cascading more number of stages. So in that case, output of one has to be connected to the input of another one. Here is the diagram. The first one is driving the second one. Okay, input of the second one is the output of the first one. So bias voltage of the first one at the drain node or the output node is something which may not be matching with the bias voltage of the gate of the second one, which is here at this point. This voltage, required voltage, may be different from the voltage here, bias voltage here. Remember that this voltage at the output of the first transistor, that's M1, should be such that it is operating in saturation region. VDS of this should be greater than its VGS minus VT. Okay, that condition you have maintained. And for that, whatever VDS is here or output voltage is here, that may not be compatible with the input bias voltage here. In that case, you cannot directly couple it. To maintain the respective bias voltage, you have to use a CC or coupling capacitor as has been shown here. Is it clear? Shashank, Prajwal?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Okay. So two purpose. One thing we saw that loop antenna may kill the input bias voltage VO. If you want to prevent it, then use a coupling capacitor. And if you want to cascade, then another CC between two may be used. Now, fourth observation of this circuit is here. The ID of the MOSFET here is sensitive to process voltage and temperature. Voltage is here VDD. Process means you have mu and C aux in the equation, current equation, and threshold voltage. These are all process dependent parameter of the device. Okay, for example, your threshold voltage and mobility. These two things will decrease with increasing temperature. If you increase the temperature, the scattering will be more, and hence mobility will decrease. At the same time, threshold voltage also decreases with increasing threshold, increasing temperature. So it is sensitive. The ID is too much sensitive to this process voltage and temperature variations in this CS amplifier. So we can think of designing a circuit which may be less sensitive, especially if there is a variation in supply voltage VDD, the variation in current will be less, or rather it may be more stable or robust design. So for that, what you need is a one resistance RS to be connected at the source of the MOSFET. Okay, RS, which is called degeneration resistor. What will happen here if delta, and this due to change in VDD, variation in VDD, suppose variation in VDD is increasing, okay, what will happen? VO will vary. VO is obtained by dividing the voltage VDD by this R1 and R2. So there will be a change in, rather if VDD is increasing, delta VO will increase as shown here. Delta VO change has occurred. It is also increasing. In this case, where there is no degeneration resistor RS, the VGS is changed that much, delta VO, same amount. Okay, but in case of the CS amplifier with degeneration resistor RS, okay, if you look at, see, if say delta VO increase is occurring in the gate of the M1, what will happen? Correspondingly, current will increase, because we know if VO is changing, current is going to increase. If current is increasing to the device, voltage drop across RS is going to increase. If RS voltage drop here, say delta VO prime is the increment of voltage at this source node of the M1. So what will happen? Ultimately, VGS of this M1 is going to be reduced. Okay, so if VGS is reduced, you can think of from this equation that current is going to reduce. So the very cause of current increase is getting reduced, or you can say mitigated to some extent. So use of RS in the source of the amplifying transistor M1 is useful, or you can say it is going to give a more robust or stable circuit. Now, self bias is another method of biasing a CS amplifier. In this case of self bias, the VTS, for example, threshold voltage is decreasing, for example, because of change of waveform or something. Then ID will increase. ID will increase. Current through RF, the feedback resistance RF is 0. You know why current is 0? Because gate is insulated by SiO2. So virtually no current will flow through the gate. So current through RF is 0, hence no drop in RF. There is no voltage drop across this. Whatever voltage is at this point, the out node, same is here in this node. Okay. Hence VDS and VGS of M1 is the same. It is called diode connected. If it is this same thing, I mean drain voltage and gate voltage are same of a MOSFET. So it is connected like this. We have VDD here. Then we call it is a diode connected MOSFET. Can you say what is the region of operation of this MOSFET?
Saturation.
Saturation region. It is operating in saturation. In this case also, even though you have put a RF, there is no voltage drop across it. So it is as good as diode connected resistance. Okay. Say due to the increase in VDD, ID increases of this device. Then ID RD drop across RD increases. Hence V out, that is VDS of M1 decreases. Hence VGS decreases. So ID decreases. Hence it is a self-biased and self-correcting circuits. Is it understood? If you bias the gate or apply the DC voltage at the gate by connecting a feedback resistor from the drain of M1, then it is a self-biasing circuit and self-correcting circuit. Because of change in VDD, if there is a change in current, it will be still stable circuit current. Okay, stable current. Is it understood? Now we'll elaborately, briefly, I have discussed all these things now in 2 slides. Now elaborately we'll see with some numerical examples also. Most of things are available in the book, so sometimes I'll skip and go ahead. And I see that students participating is very less. Possibly I have given the videos, so that will be good enough. That's why. Anyway, after all, you have to study and give the exam. It is up to you. The way you can do it. So here is the source degeneration resistors connected, and the same thing we are here describing. What is Vx here? Vx, voltage at this node, that is the gate bias, DC bias voltage. It is Vx equals to R2 divided by R1 plus R2 into VD. That is very obvious. Voltage divider principle. Since Vx equals to VGS plus ID RS, the voltage across this resistor RS and VGS here. That is what the Vx. Okay. So we can write this one. Yes or no? This you can write?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also, we know the current equation of the device. This is the equation number 7.3. It is well known to us. In saturation region, we are always telling that MOSFETs in amplifier circuits are biased in such a way. DC bias, I'm telling. This voltage and this voltage are such that it is operating in saturation region. Current. That's why we are writing the current equation as the saturation region current equation. Okay. Now the previous equation in equation number 7.2 and this equation can be solved for ID and VGS, either by iteration or by finding ID from 7.2 and replacing it in this 7.3. So we can write this equation, and finally you can obtain the value of VGS in this form, where B1 is this value. Okay, this value of VGS can then be substituted in 7.2 to obtain the ID. Of course, VY voltage here, drain voltage of the M1, must exceed Vx minus VTH to ensure the operation saturation region. This is well known to us. The condition for saturation region, VDS should be greater than equals to VGS minus VTH. Now, numericals is given. Let us try to see what is that. Determine the bias current of M1. Bias current is DC bias current ID. DC bias current or ID. M1, assume that VTN equals to 0.5 volt, mu1 Cox equals to 100 microampere per volt square, W by L equals to 5 by 1.18 and lambda equals to 0. Lambda equals to 0 means CLM equals to CLM is neglected. What is the maximum allowable value of RD? Value of RD to be found. Okay, so that the M1 remains in saturation region. So again, Vx can be found putting the values as 1.286. I have written here in details. You can look at. Okay, is it correct? Prashant?
Yes, sir. The calculator. Yes, sir. It is understood and it is
correct.
Correct only, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, with an initial gaze, we are gazing that initially VGS equals to 1 volt. The voltage drop across RS can be expressed as Vx minus VGS equals to 2.86. If we assume this one, yes or no? From the previous value of Vx, okay, Vx is what? Vx equals to VGS minus voltage across RS. Okay, that is ID RS, you can say. Idea. So we get VGS equals to this value. Now iteratively using putting the value, finding ID, then again finding out VGS, again finding out ID. In this way we can do it and get convergence. Okay, but it will slowly converge, and hence we can use the exact result of this equation. 7.6 is this equation. This equation you can use to get exact value quickly. Okay, anyway, the solution of this problem is the maximum allowable value of RD, so that device M1 remains in saturation region, is obtained to be this one, 3.25 kilo ohm. Here in this circuit, assume M1 is in saturation, RD equals to 2.5 kilo ohm, and compute the maximum allowable value of W by L. The minimum allowable value of RS, okay, that has to be found. Two things has to be found: W by L and minimum allowable value of this. Max W by L of M1 and mean RS to be found. These two things you have to find out. Okay, from this diagram. In this diagram, so many things are given, like R1, R2 is given, RD is given as 2.5 kilo ohm, and then lambda is given to be 0. W by L of the device is given as 5 by 0.18. And this device is operating in saturation region. Based on this, we can calculate it. You try yourself, we'll see something else. This already we have discussed, the self-bias MOS test, okay, and we can write down this equation because VDD, you see VDD equals to drop across this resistor, then VGS plus voltage across this source degeneration resistor, and finding VGS from this equation and substituting in this earlier equation 7.3, we can have this equation. Okay, 7.3 is what? The current equation of the MOSFET. So from here you can find out the value of VGS. VGS is what? VGS equals to VDD minus what? ID is common, RD plus RS. Okay, this is VGS. So what you are doing in this thing is what? Is VGS. In our current equation, what do you write? Half of mu n C ox W by L into VGS minus VT whole square. Okay. So this thing we write. So this VGS is nothing but this value, and which is obtained from this equation. I mean, just VDD is applied and drop across this and this are calculated. Is it understood? Shashank?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it follows that this equation also can be written. Now, calculation based on this. Calculate the drain current of M1 in this figure if mu n C ox equals to 100 microampere per volt square, VTS equals to 0.5 volt and lambda equals to 0. What value of RD is necessary to reduce the ID by a factor of 2? So I think this all you can do yourself. We'll discuss something else. Now, most transistors, if operating in saturation region, can act as current source. For example, this one, if it is operating in saturation region, then it will be behaving like a current source. We know that in saturation region, current ID is constant. It is initially with less VDS linear, and then afterwards it is like this. If lambda equals to 0, means channel modulation effect is neglected, and that can be neglected if your device is very long channel device. I have simulated and shown also, Shashank, long channel MOSFET and short.
Yes, sir. We have seen them.
So, if what is current source, by the way? What is the definition of current source? What is a current source? Tripathi, what is current source?
Sir, which is dependent on the voltage, sir.
You're doing the
Like
reverse
source
thing.
voltage, in this case, gate voltage.
Prajwal is there? Is absent? Prajwal is absent. And Himanshu is not there. Prajwal and Himanshu? Himanshu Sogra? Absent. Anyway. So, Karthik Rai?
Yes,
what do you
sir.
say? What do you say? What do you understand by current source? We are talking about current source here.
Sir, a
Realization
current
of current
source is
source.
a device which maintains a steady current through a line.
Yes. Any example? See, we are talking about a topic and we don't know the definition. It's very fundamental things. Maybe known from 10 plus onwards, or even BTech first semester or second semester you might have studied. Okay. Current source is that which can supply constant current irrespective of the voltage across it. Okay. For example, battery. Battery is a good example of current source. It can supply constant amount of current. Even at the end, its supply voltage may be little dropped, say 1.5 volt to some less, 1.45 volt or something like that. Still, it can supply the same amount of current. Here, in case of MOSFET, if this MOSFET is in saturation region, current supplied is constant, even though VDS or voltage across it is varying. Okay, so it is matching with the definition of current source, real current source. Okay, of course, you have to take a long-term MOSFET, then only it is valid. Okay, and it should be operated in saturation region. In this diagram, figure A, an NMOS device serves as a current source with one terminal tied to ground. That is, it draws current from terminal X to ground. On the other hand, the PMOS here is drawing current from VDD to node Y. Okay. If lambda equals to 0, these currents remain independent of Vx, voltage at node X, and Vy, voltage at node Y. Okay. Sorry. Now, see, this PMOSFET and NMOSFET is a current source, no doubt in that. If it is operating in saturation region, and if lambda can be neglected, and it can be neglected if it is long-term MOSFET. But here, is it a current source? This one, M1 here and M1 here. The left side one, diagram C, is a PMOSFET, and D, rightmost diagram, is a NMOSFET. Is it a current source? Answer is no, because current cause is written here. Why it is current source, why it is not current source. VGS does not vary if Vx and Vy vary in these two cases. VGS, gate to source voltage, doesn't vary if Vx or Vy varies. Okay, so VGS is remaining same. So current passing through these is going to. But here in this case, VGS varies if Vx and Vy varies. If this voltage is varying or this voltage is varying, then you see that VGS is going to vary. Is it understood why this right two diagram C and D are not current source, whereas left two circuit or symbols are current source? Yes, Shashank, anything understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The current equation depends on VGS minus
Yes.
VT.
Yes, you are understanding things. Okay, let us go ahead and see. If you want to further understand and analyze, then this is the diagram. It can be drawn in this way. BB, actually gate voltage. So BB symbol we have used here, right? It is a fixed voltage with respect to source. Source is grounded. Now, current across this, the current supplied by this is here, and the symbol used of this current source is this, a circle, inside that a arrow. Okay, down arrow is shown. Okay, from here. Then small signal model, if you want to draw of this, then you can do it like this. Here it has been shorted because VB is a bias kind of DC voltage, independent voltage, right? So this has to be shorted like this. And current source, as we know, voltage control current source, we have already discussed, it is GM-VGS. And RO, if lambda not equals to 0, then RO has to be put in this way. Okay. Now, since this terminal is shorted, so VGS is 0 and here is 0, so this is going to be zeroed. Voltage as well as current are zeroed, and current source can be zeroed by opening it. Voltage source can be zeroed by shorting it. So that has been drawn by this. Since VGS equals to 0, VGS equals to 0. And then remaining is only RO, and that is the resistance. So of this current source, the output resistance or resistance looking from here is nothing but RO if lambda not equals to 0. Means CLM is not neglected. Okay, for AC analysis, circuit is Thevenized. That is, voltage and current sources are zeroed. Voltage source 0 means it is to be shorted, and current source 0 means it is to be opened. This is what we have already discussed in the last class. That is what we have again repeating. Now, what we see here, let us try to understand. In this diagram, shown in this diagram, the basic CMOS, CS stage is similar to the common emitter topology, with the input applied to the gate and the output sensed at the drain. Input is applied here. It is nothing but, say, the transducer or microphones generated voltage, very small voltage, that may be 1 millivolt or even less than that. And output is taken from the drain node of the M1. For small signals, M1 converts the input voltage variations to a proportional drain current changes. Okay, if you vary the input V in, current accordingly, ID accordingly going to change. We know the current equation. Okay, and RD transforms the drain current to the output voltage. Current variation is occurring because of the variation is V in, ID variation is occurring, and that variation is converted into voltage. Current variation is converted into voltage across this RD. So RD transforms the drain currents to output voltage. If channel length modulation is neglected, the small signal model is here. Okay, small signal model is here, which is V in equals to V1 and V out equals to minus GM V1 RD. Is it understood? V out equals to minus GM V1 RD. How it is? At output node, two currents are flowing from V out to ground. One is V out by RD in this way, and other one is GM V1 in this way. Okay. So as per KCL, the summation of these two currents must be 0. That's what we have written here in this equation. KCL applied at the output node, and we are writing V out by RD plus GM V1 equals to 0. Hence, V out equals to minus GM V1 into RD. Hence, V out by V1 equals to V out by V in, which is nothing but gain of this amplifier. Okay, equals to minus GM RD. Now, if you don't ignore CLM, Okay, not equals to 0. Then RO you have to draw here, which is this is RO. Then that also will come in parallel. Is it understood why we are writing AV equals to minus GM RD parallel RO? This RD is the drain resistance of the transistor, resistance connected between the drain terminal and the VDD. Shashank, is it understood? Should I go
Yes,
ahead?
sir, I have understood. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if GM, I mean, the AV of CS is VDD limited. Why it is called VDD limited? AV gain, voltage gain of CS stage is VDD limited, since GM equals to square root of 2 mu n COX W by L into INT. So we have AB equals to this. Concluding that ID or RD is increased, shows the voltage drop across RD, that is ID/RD. For amount to maintain in saturation, this has to be greater than this. Is it understood? That is ID/RD less than VD minus, within parentheses, VGS minus VTH. This is understood. These equations, all these equations is understood or not?
Yes, sir.
Anywhere any equation is not understood, it is all from our fundamental things, very fundamental things. Voltage across drain of this MOSFET M1 is what? Voltage here minus this voltage drop across RD, I mean RD. Okay, that's what is written here. This is nothing but VDS. Is it understood? Is it not VDS?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So for estimation of output impedance, connect an external voltage source. I mean, here, this is a external voltage source. This is a small signal model of this one. Lambda considered to be 0. So we have not drawn RO, small RO. Okay, we should have drawn here RO. We have not drawn because we are considering lambda equals to 0. Okay, CLM neglected. So for finding out the output impedance, what we have done, a Vx external source has been connected, okay, at the output node, and V in is obviously 0, should be 0 because that is the case. 0 and independent voltage sources should be zeroed. So that has been done here by shorting this one. So this has been opened, okay, because current is on GM, I mean GMV1 is 0, so it is opened. Then what you actually get, current to this IX flowing like this, IX. So Vx by RD equals to Ix, or Vx by X equals to RD, or output impedance. Okay, so output impedance of this circuit is RD. Of course, you have neglected lambda or CLM. Otherwise, what will happen? In this small signal model, you have to draw RO. This RO is intrinsic resistance or output resistance, or is the resistance of the MOSFET. Okay, that is going to take care of the CLM, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If it is a long channel MOSFET, you can neglect. If you are not neglecting, then RD, this RD will be in parallel with this one. We have already discussed why we are going to draw, I mean, this in this way, because the independent voltage is zeroed, means ground, it is grounded, so it is coming in this fashion in small signal model. Is it understood? This is drained, I mean, this side is VDD side. Are you understanding? VDD side, which has been grounded because of the AC analysis. Is it understood or not? Tripathi, in the last class we have discussed this.
Yes, sir.
So output resistance of this one is RD only, output impedance. Now some calculation, let us see what is that, whether you are understanding or not. Calculate the small signal voltage gain of the CS stage shown in this diagram. If ID equals to 1 milliampere, mu L CUX equals to 100 microampere per volt square, and VTS equals to 5.5 volt, lambda equals to 0. Okay, verify that M1 operates in saturation. That is a must condition. Okay, so we have GM equals to what? To find out the gain, we need GM. So what is GM? GM equals to square root of, you know, GM can be written as 2 mu n CUX W by L into ID. This is acceptable or not? Or you want its proof? We have discussed, I think you have forgotten.
So we have to differentiate the equation and
yes, GM is nothing but delta ID by delta VGS. Okay, and then manipulate it, you'll get this form. GM can be written in different forms. Okay, that I think we have discussed earlier somewhere. This is one form in which you can write down value of GM. So putting the values, mu n COX is given as 100 microampere per volt, 100 into 10 to the minus 6 ampere per volt square. Okay, and W by L is given 10 by 0.18. It is also given. ID is 1 milliampere, so 1 into 10 to the minus 3 ampere. So if you calculate, you will get this value 1 upon 300 ohm. Is it understandable? Prashank, if you put the values.
Yes, sir, I understood.
Okay. Then gain is minus GMRD. It's very simple because you are neglecting CLM. RO is not there. So it is going to be minus, in the book, minus sign is not given, but it is obvious that minus sign will be there. Minus 3.33 is the gain of this amplifier shown here in this diagram. To check the operation region, I mean, you have to see that M1 operates in saturation region. So we first determine the gate source voltage. VGS we want to find out first. This is the equation. VGS is can be written in this way. Can we write this one or not? It can be written or not. Sorry. VGS can be written.
The saturation current region.
Yes, saturation current is this mu n COX W by L into VGS minus VT whole square divided by 2. Okay, so this, you see, this 2 ID is coming here. Okay, then this is directly derived from here. Okay, nothing more. If you look at, is going to happen. Yes or no? Anybody? Karthik Rai? Is it not possible to obtain this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So you get VGS equals to 1.1 volt. What is VT given? VT is 0.5 volt given here. So VGS minus VT is what? 0.6 volt, right? No, VGS is 1.1, VT is 0.5, so 0.6 volt. Okay? And VDS is what? VD is 1.8 volt minus ID, RD. RD is 1 kilo ohm, 1 into, this is RD. This is RD value, 1 kilo ohm. And this is ID. Okay. Don't consider it as, division ID. So 1 milliampere. So 1 into 10 to the minus 3. You get it. VDS equals to 0.8 volt. So VDS minus VT is 0.6. So is it not in saturation region? Yes or no? Shashank?
Yes, sir. It will be in saturation region.
It is saturation region. So we have verified that. Verify that M1 operates in saturation region. This is all. So this way, you may face some questions. I mean, question will be given, answer will be maybe multiple answer will be there. Until unless you remember, you can remember. But what if you remember this value? For example, you are remembering this value, but I am changing some value here in the equation. I mean question. Then it will not be valid. Okay. Remember that. I may change the values, say any values. Power threshold voltage, for example, I've given 0.3 volt or 0.4 volt, 0.5 volt. Then this value means you have to understand, remember these equations of GM, of AV. Then it is not a problem. You can find out. Okay, maybe 1 or 2 questions will be there of this kind, so that you understand it and solve it. So here we have understood up to this point. Now the drain voltage is equal to this, and VGS is equal to this. The device is in saturation region and has a margin of 0.2 volt that we can understand. With respect to the triode region, triode region becomes, if VDS falls below 0.6 volt, there is a 0.2 volt margin. Okay. For example, RD is doubled with intention of doubling AB, because we have seen that AB equals to minus GMRD. So if I increase this fellow, then possibly I will get the more gain. That may be the intention. Okay. So what will somebody will try it? He may try to double it. Okay, double the value of RD. Then M1 enters the triode region and its transconductance drops. GM will drop. You are going to increase this one to get higher gain, but GM will drop if it is entering the triode region. Is it understood? And the first lecture also we discussed same thing in last class, I think. Okay. It is possible to raise the gain to some extent by increasing W. Okay. By increasing W, but subthreshold conduction eventually limits the transconductance. So these all critical things are there in this. So the gate terminal of the MOSFETs draws a zero current at very low frequencies. I mean, maybe analog circuits, not for RF circuits. We say the CS amplifier provides a current gain of infinity. The CS amplifier provides a current gain of infinity. By contrast, the current gain of a common emitter stays is equal to beta. It's talking about BJT based, okay? BJT based amplifier. In BJT based amplifier, there will be always IB flowing, okay? Base current should be there. Whereas in this MOSFET based CS amplifier, there is no current at all in low frequency. Okay. So current gain may be infinite. Let us now compute the I/O impedance of the CS amplifier, input-output impedance of the amplifier. Since the gate current is 0 at low frequencies, R in is infinite because gate is insulated by SiO2, no current. A point of contrast to the CE stage, common emitter stage, whose Rn is equal to R pi. The high input impedance of CS topology plays a critical role in many analog circuits. It is important, or it is very good, you can say. The similarity between the small signal equivalents of CE and CS stages indicates that the output impedance of CS amplifier is simply equal to R out equals to RD. Lambda, of course, should be 0. Is it understood? At high frequency, of course, it may not be infinite because basically the MOSFET is a capacitor, oxide, and one side you have the substrate, the channel region, other side is polysilicon gate material, so in between silicon dioxide, so it is a capacitor. So at high frequency, you know that Xc equals to 1 upon twice pi Fc, pi Cox. If you consider that a capacitor, of course, Cox is femtofarad or farad per meter square, that you have to consider, remember. Okay, so at high frequency, what will happen? Xc or the capacitive reactance will be less. Okay, and we cannot get infinite input impedance. Is it understood? Shashank?
Sir, yes, sir.
Now, to find out the output impedance, we have already discussed, so it is meaningless to again repeat. Same way, Vx to be externally connected here, and then find out the R out. It is nothing but RD if you neglect the CLM. Yes, understood or not? Same thing is written. So in practice, channel line modulation may not be negligible. Now we are going to consider the RO. Especially if RD is large, the small signal model of CS topology is therefore modified as shown in this figure. A small signal model, this RO has to be connected in parallel with RD in this way. And then things will be different. Input impedance is going to remain same. AB is going to be minus GM into RD parallel RO, and R out is going to be RD parallel RO. Is it understood? Karthik Rai, are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Is it difficult to understand these things? It is not new for you. You have studied earlier in analog circuits.
Sure.
So something from Sidra Smith I want to say. What is that? Let us try to see. From signal point of view, the FET behaves as a voltage current source, that also we have discussed. It takes a signal VGS between gate and source and provides a current GM VGS, this one, at the drain terminal. The input resistance of this controlled source is very high, ideally infinite. That also we have seen. The output resistance, that is the resistance looking into the drain, okay, also is high, and we have assumed it to be infinite thus far. Putting all these together, we arrive at the small signal model or small signal equivalent circuit as shown in this figure. Okay. If you consider RO, then this is also. In the analysis of MOSFET amplifier circuit, the transistor can be replaced by equivalent circuit model. This the rest of the circuit remain unchanged except that the ideal constant DC voltage sources are replaced by short circuits. DC voltage sources like VDD etc. has been shorted. This is a result of the fact that the voltage across an ideal constant DC voltage source does not change. Why we AC means what? It is AC analysis you are doing. So voltage should be varying, but DC voltage never varies. A battery voltage never varies. So no change means what? It is zero change. Okay, and thus there will always be a zero voltage signal across a constant DC voltage source. That's why you are connecting the VDD to ground. Why BJT is a current controlled current source and FET is a voltage controlled current source. Output current IC equals to beta IB of a BJT is a function of input current IB and output current ID equals to beta by 2 GS minus BT. Of a FET is a function of BGS. Okay, this is the reason. Anyway, the most serious shortcoming of this small signal model of this is that it assumes the drain current is in saturation region is independent of the drain voltage. We know that the drain current does in fact depend on VDS in a linear manner. Such dependence is modeled by resistance RO between drain and so RO is this we have also discussed, where B is the early voltage, lambda is the CLM factor and specified or can be measured. ID is the drain current without CLM taken into account. Typically RO is the in the range of 10 kilo ohm to 1000 kilo ohm. Okay. So value of RO is more or less known. It is the characteristic of the device. Remember that it is not external. RD is connected externally. Remember, RD, whatever we have discussed previously, it is external. But this fellow is the characteristic of the device. How long it is. If it is longer, then it is almost infinite. Okay. Short-term MOSFET will be less. So GM can be expressed in different ways. What I was telling, GM can be different. Yeah.
Sir, I think we have a different class starting.
Okay, then I'll stop here. So GM can be expressed in different way, and we are and this one here. You see, the GM is discussed in different way here. Now next class on Monday, that is on which date? 1st November.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you have the exam on 27. I hope you are remembering.
So on 31st Sunday.
Sorry,
evening.
31st. Sorry, 31st. 31st. Okay. Go ahead with the exam. Study hard. Last exam was bad, so it should be nice this time. Leave the class and go for other classes.